Hello there, welcome to another special edition of Star Wars Unlimited News. As always, I'm Jonah, Program Director for the Star Wars Unlimited Judge Program. Today, we're going to be talking about the errata that came out today. With the release of Jump to Lightspeed, we have some updates to the card text of 7 cards. Blizzard Assault AT-AT, Bo-Katan Kryze, Princess in Exile, Migs Mayfeld, Triggerman, Unrefusable Offer, I Have the High Ground, Sly Moore, Secretive Advisor, and Wingman Victor 3, Backstabber. For 6 of these cards, everything except Blizzard Assault AT-AT, this is non-functional errata. The cards will continue to work exactly the way they have been working in the past, but it's just a little bit clearer. The only one that has changed is a card that didn't work the way the designers intended to within the rules after other cards came out, so it was adjusted to match those intentions. Notably, this errata is not power level errata. No cards are getting their cost modified or changes to their power and HP. None of them will change how they play in games, except for, again, Blizzard Assault AT-AT, which also wasn't a staple of the format, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be even after this update. But we're going to go over all the changes one by one so we can understand what the change is and why it was made. Let's dive in. Blizzard Assault AT-AT previously had an unintuitive interaction with Overwhelm. With the old triggered ability, as shown, if it gained Overwhelm, you could never resolve the trigger. By the time the trigger could resolve, the excess damage would have already been spent on dealing damage to the defending player's base. With this new wording, if it gains Overwhelm, it's happening at the same time frame, so you can choose to deal your excess damage either to an enemy unit or to the base, rather than being locked into dealing damage to the base. Notably, you do not get to deal excess damage to both the base and the unit, just one or the other. Bo-Katan Kryze just had the word then added to her text to make it clear that it's an additional point of damage. Migs Mayfeld's trigger condition wording has changed from when a player discards a card from their hand to when a player discards a card from a hand. This makes it clear that the controller of the discard effect doesn't matter, for abilities controlled by one player that forces another player to discard a card, like Spark of Rebellion. Unrefusable Offer now makes it explicit that you can only play the unit that it was attached to if the unit is in its owner's discard pile or captured. This clarifies, but again doesn't actually change, the interaction it would have with Spare the Target and other similar effects. I Have the High Ground has a small update that clarifies that the lasting effect generated by the event applies to the friendly unit and not enemy units. With the old wording, some people believe that I Have the High Ground only applied to enemy units that were in play at the time of the event resolving, and so if a player ambushed in a unit, that wouldn't get -4 power. However, it would have. The wording was just unclear, and this errata helps clarify that. Sly Moore, Secretive Advisor, has some of the simplest errata. She goes from having you take Control, with no R, to taking Control, which is, an actual game term. This is just adjusting a print error. Finally, Wingman Victor 3, which isn't even released yet and is coming out in Jump to Lightspeed, has an adjustment to make some of the wording a little bit more clear. There was some confusion around the language of what another unit meant when Victor 3 was being played as an upgrade. It wasn't a unit itself, and it obviously couldn't grant itself experience, so what did another unit mean? The updated language clarifies that the experience goes to a unit other than the one that is being upgraded by Wingman Victor 3. And that wraps us up. 7 updates, 6 of which are just clarifications so that when a player looks up the official text of a card, it's easier for them to understand exactly what it is that the card does, and 1 small functional change to a card that doesn't see play so that it interacts more intuitively with newer cards and works the way the designers have always wanted it to. That's all for now. Now, as always, good luck and have fun.